Hello, good afternoon. Going to share some charts, just journaling today. Check that infinity screen. Didn't mean to do that. We'll go to the Qs. The Qs. Interesting sell-off today. Start with the 3-minute and review what happened. We have a volume imbalance at the open. We have the retest. We also tap into this top range opening gap. Look at that. Opening range gap taps in at 842. 845 starts its run lower, knowing that we have some liquidity here. And after having tapped into here, and then having Wednesday protected high. So Wednesday was a protected high. We also have like this broader formation on the higher time frames. Kind of looks like a head and shoulder pattern. Boom, 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 boom. Yep, that's what I saw this morning. 3-minute chart. Again, zooming in. Going to replay this on the 1 minute. And open up the gold block price levels on the 9. Nope, shorter than that. We're on the 3. What the heck? On the 3. Dang, that's Then we also have this gap that's open. So you could look for, okay, we're going to close a gap. That's a good area to look for, just with that thesis in mind. Or going in with that thesis, I mean, it could go either way. It could have continued higher. February, seasonal tendency, bearish. Taps into 50% of the macro. Taps into 50% of the macro. Once, twice, then we shift. This is closing under this extension. I'm just going to replay that again and see how that plays out. So we suit the low, and I did have an entry long in here. I anticipated this being a sweep of liquidity. We did have that. We did do that. And that's a lot of noise. But we did do that. Priority for the highs. Pretty sure I got out somewhere up here. But I did get some calls and just closed out. We also got paid on these really well. But the bodies are closing under that. So it goes under, I think the 9 is the one. This is a little bit cleaner, 50%, but then that's too big. And that shifts down 3. But that's interesting how that acted there. We tested 50% of that previous range. 0.83 rejection. But yeah, that's the main signature that I'm looking at, the rejection of this 10 a.m. candle and the rejection of the opening range gap and the closure too. So looking for the closure of the opening range gap. They're targeting those lows and then being aware that this is still open. So that's just some thesis, some color to the picture of price action and the rejections of the 50%. And then, yeah, I mean, just the continuation lower today was pretty good. How can we improve? So you could add knowing that 950 could be a protected high. So that's your short here, you're adding here, 950 protected high, 10 a.m. we close under, retest again, close above, consolidate, retesting the 50, and then here we're under 612. Today's date was also 612, so that's why this level is here. 612 there, 612. So today's the 12th of February, and this level in here with this extension being the high. So the extension protected high, 1015 protected high, also 60%, 50%, 612 looks like a rejection area. This is where I tried it like 2 or 3 times. Yeah, we tried shorts here. And then we got our shorts here. So I was trying to go short somewhere in here, then got stopped out in here. Got stopped out. I remember getting stopped out. In here. As this was going up, I was anticipating also this volume imbalance under here. So volume imbalance being open, and I was anticipating for it to be closed. Better stop or better entry would be waiting for 1030, timing it at 1030, there, and then I think that's a 4 a.m. candle. Yeah, 4 a.m. candle shaded in blue there. Shaded in blue. Yeah, you guys see that? Boom. I'm gonna hide the opening range gap real quick. Range gap. Yeah, shaded in blue there. Then we have first quadrant, 950, protected high here. Second candle after the start of the macro. Second candle after the start of the macro. So that's 952. 950, 1, 2, 52, 54, 55. So we have the algorithm, this one. So Wednesday sold off in the morning, grinded higher into the afternoon session, tapped into the opening range gap before the market opened. We reversed 938, 940, 945 began to sell off. 945 after a grind higher on. So Wednesday grinded higher. Thursday reversal with strong selling on the 12th. And then on the 12th, we went short, 12, we went short, 12, we went short. 1330 time clusters and opening range gap, 1330 time clusters, 1330 time clusters. And then also we have that retest of the 1330 time clusters here. Okay, so if you were going to try to go long in here from this 1330 time hold, you would look for another 1330 time hold to target. So that'd be here. But because we had a Wednesday protected high, and because we tapped into 616, and because today's day is the 12th, we look for the 12, and the closest 12 is under us. So you look for that 12 to reach into, which we reach into here at 10, 956, 10 basically. So from 938 to 10, 938 to 10, 940 to 10, 20 minutes. 20 minutes selling. Taps in. You have the 50% there. And closure of the gap with speed. 944. Targeting sell side liquidity. Targeting opening range gap. Targeting 1330 time cluster from, what's I gonna say? Okay. No, this is, yeah, 2.5. So from 210 to 2.5, 210 to 2.5, half of it. 2 plus 10 is 12. 5 plus 2, 7. 7. 7. And it reaches it at 11:30, almost 12 o'clock. $13 to $2.12. Consolidated. So it's off. Retest 13:30. These macros, we could zoom into the macros in here and analyze that, but just want to look at the bigger trend. 20 minutes. So 1, 2, 3, and then this kind of looks like a flat candle. Thought this was a flat candle at first, but you gotta zoom in. And yeah, so 10 minute. So 50% of that opening range gap, or sorry, 50% of the macro retested there at 615.82. 615.82, 615.82, 615.82. High of this candle, this one here, is 615.81. Oh, someone was trying. I know somebody was trying to get the 82. Oh, I feel bad for them. I know somebody was dialed in and trying to get the 82 for a fact. I know someone for a fact was trying to get that 82 there. High of this candle, 616.50. 616.50. 616.50. And midpoint of this is 616.95. 616.95. So your 616 puts at 9:30. 616 puts at 9:30 on 212. volume imbalance in here. Interesting. So we'll have to return to that sometime in the future. 7 days. What time did that happen at? 9:15. 9:15 to 12. Okay. I'm just gonna make sure. Okay, and we're gonna review Wednesday. So now let's look at Tuesday. Oh, I remember this day too. It was like, this was a trumpet pattern, just like broaden information. And if you're dialed into that broaden information on Tuesday after Big Range Day, you're gonna likely so Friday was a big range. Friday, so we had previous Friday gapped up, continued higher. I think we're gonna do the opposite this Friday. I think tomorrow gap down to continue lower. Gap down to continue lower, then reverse for Monday, Tuesday. We'll see. First quadrant, and then again I'm doing quadrants from 10-minute quadrants. So this is our first quadrant in here, protected low, 930, 50% is respected. 1002 begins expansion to the upside. Begins expansion to the upside. And where are they? Then and dog here closes above 930 protected low. 930 protected low. Pretty significant fair value gap in there, 50%. Yeah, that's a significant fair value gap for sure. Yeah, that's also the new day opening gap. I mean, first presented fair value gap. First presented. And then look at this. We close above 50% of the first presented fair value gap. Look at that. It must be random. 50% closure. 935. 931 protected low. We have liquidity above us. Dang. We have opening range gaps above us that are open. Yeah, so yeah, we didn't fully pass through to the upside on these. There's still openings here. Openings. And then we come back to it on. So from Wednesday, Thursday, we come back to it Monday, Wednesday. Is this still open? I wonder if there's any openings up there. Any openings here? No, there shouldn't be. This is pretty balanced. Nope, there's volume imbalance. So volume imbalance in here. 2 hour. I know there's something in there. Do we really make some movement up there? Yeah. We also have this that's left and open from Friday 6. The 6, the 12 divided by 2, the 13th. The 13th. I think we just make a run in the morning to 11 and then consolidate for the rest of the day. Friday, preserve capital. Don't need to do much. And capital preservation Friday. Thanks, coach.